Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're located. Business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations, welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Grant McGaw, CEO of 5-Star BDM, where we help you to build a 5-star brand that people will follow. I'm your business moderator for this morning on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our next speaker is Shara Lewis-Campbell. Shara Lewis-Campbell is an author of 8 publications and publisher of over 70 additional book publications and counting. Co-founder of Beauty and the Beast Publishing, an award-winning independent book publishing and media company based in the UK and USA. Qualified with over 25 years of industry experience, she is particularly keen to work with individuals and organizations who wish to make a real difference in becoming more than only writers. I present to you Shara Lewis-Campbell.
Hi, Grant. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you this afternoon or evening? I'm not sure
Doing well.
what time it is.
Yeah, doing really well. It's just gone lunchtime here, so it's 3:30. Yeah, almost.
Well, first of all, we're gonna have a fireside chat, me and you. And I know you're over there in the U. Most people don't know where you're located. Tell us a little bit about what's going on over there in the UK right now.
I think lots is taking place in the UK, especially in the next couple of days. We've got an unusual amount of bank holiday leave, which is like a national holiday. So we usually have 2 in the month, one in the beginning and one at the end. And this year, for the first time, we'll have 3 because we are celebrating the King's coronation, which is gives us an extra national day. So we're all quite pleased about that.
That is something. I mean, are you excited? I mean, there's got to be a buzz kind of going on. I mean, King Charles, you've had the Queen probably my entire lifetime, and now this is a change going on. I mean, is that created new opportunities or new buzz? I mean, how do you feel about that?
It has in terms of the country, in the fact that this is kind of like a new era, with this king, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But probably, as you are aware as well as anybody is these days, there's lots of controversy, isn't there, at the moment within the royal family. So that's quite interesting to see how that is kind of playing out. I'm not sure I quite agree with all the I don't know, all the problems that they're having, etc., and being so sort of public and being such a public sort of furore, as it were, between here and there. So I think in terms of opportunities, they probably need to sort that out first beforehand. But in terms of our business, we're still as busy as ever, which is great, and hasn't affected us in any way, which is great too.
Well, we're talking about culture, right? We want to talk about culture. I know you are big in the culture, and I want to ask you about, there's a project that I saw you're associated with talking about Dred Scott. And I'm very curious about, people, especially people of color in the UK, they get a lot of American history. You're talking about something, Dred Scott. I mean, this happened in the mid 1800s, but it set precedent. Talk to me a little bit about this particular project.
Okay. So, I mean, this particular project is actually with one of our business associates. So, the Walk With You Productions, they came to us when they first had written the book and wanted us to be involved in terms of the production part of it, in terms of the film and that sort of thing, and telling that story. So we've been responsible. We're working on 3 different film projects together, and Dred Scott is one of them. Another one that we're doing, which is like the follow-up to that, is called the Esther, which talks about the boat that was where all the sort of slaves were at that time. So it talks about that journey. So that's the follow-up to the Dred Scott story. So in terms of Dred Scott, I mean, we were approached. I mean, we didn't actually know the company very well, but we were really excited by it because it very much aligns to the work that we do in the demographic that we serve. So, and like you say, it was like something, unprecedented at its time, and I think that has a bearing for everyone, concerned, whether you're a historian or not. So we're really pleased to be able to be a part of that project. And as you know, you probably would have seen that we are seeking investment for it as well. So that's something we continue to work on.
Well, I love the business that you do. We've had several discussions. We've had several discussions here on the Black Business Network, how you're actually helping writers to actually get their work out there. And I know at the time we talked, you're maybe at 60 or 70 publications. You might have more at this point. Talk to me about some of the projects that you are working on, but more specifically, help us frame the story to help our people that are interested in writing and getting into book publications to actually move the ball forward with Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. So I mean, Beauty and the Beast, as you know, it's in its 3rd year at the moment, and as a result of that, we've been able to pulling nearly, I would say, probably bordering close to about 90 new titles into the industry, which has been absolutely phenomenal for us, as well as the fact that we still continue to write as well in our own right, which is going considerably well. We've taken on a lot more film projects as well. So we, are able to do sort of book to film, as you know, Grant, as well. And we look forward to when you're bringing out your own personal branding book series as well, which we've had plenty of discussion about. So I'm hoping on this platform we can get you to, further commit to that. So we look forward to when it's going to take off. So as you say, with people like yourselves, that are doing personal branding, or people that just want to tell their own unique personal life experiences, this is something that we're able to do for them in an independent basis as well, whereas they can treat it very much like their own business and continue to sort of sell those books in conjunction with the work that they currently do, as it were, or as an addition, or if you just want to really just move into the book business. I mean, Beauty and the Beast Publishing would be a really good place for you to start. And also, I mean, we're very much invested in telling those stories, even visually as well. So, you have the opportunity to kind of make films out of the books, or TV series or documentaries, or even if you just want a trailer, basic book trailer to, help promote and market your book. It's definitely a good way to be, I would say. Yeah. Something we can
Yeah, it's
accommodate.
wonderful. It's wonderful because when I look at Beauty and the Beast, you're like a one-stop shop. You could be a independent writer, you could be an amateur. You're just wanting to get in the industry, and from the outside looking in, it looks kind of daunting. You don't know where to start. You hear all these different things. You don't really know. So you have to have that trust factor, and for what you're doing, you're focusing on the writers that aren't like in the big publishing eye, right? So you can take someone that has a unique story, but you can help them from soup to nuts. From hey, maybe you're not the greatest writer, but at least you have the idea. You could ghostwrite. Tell us more about some of those different services that you provide.
Yeah, certainly. So, I mean, people can come to us with already what they would perceive to be like their own manuscript that they've written, and it probably just needs editing and proofreading and things like that. So it's something we can also accommodate. But then we've also got authors that want to tell their story, but as you say, they don't know where to start. So again, we offer a ghostwriting service. We bring a team in, and we will write that story for you. It's something that we do every day in our business. So we will sit down and we will, work with you to write that story in a way that feels authentic to you. So that will involve a series of interviews, etc. And depending on how much we're going to use from that experience to add into that story, we'll tell you. Will give us a rough estimate of how long that project may take. So we're looking at probably ghostwriting projects can take, I would say, anything from about, if it's a short story, maybe 3 months, to something that's probably a little bit like an actual novel itself, would be probably 3 to 6 months. So you can get it done within that time. And then after that, we will also edit, proofread, and format. We will create book covers as well for the project. There's nothing that we don't do. We will also set up the independent back end as well of where the book is published and uploaded, and we'll teach you as well how to do that. Outside of that, you can also join our writing academy as well, where we will show you and teach you the skills that we've learned over the years and how to write your own stories for yourself if you really want to do this as a business. And thereafter, if you wanted to, learn the publishing end of it, we will show you how to do the independent publishing back end so that you could then take away that model and actually do what we do. As an extension, do it for yourself and do it for others, and we would encourage that. We can't do them all.
No, now I want to switch gears just a little bit because this thing that's came out and it's kind of changing the writing world or the copywriting world. We're talking about Chat GPT. We're talking about artificial intelligence. What's your views on artificial intelligence, and do you see it as something that actually helps you because you can do things faster, or do you think it is somewhat inauthentic? I mean, they're talking about some of these engines can write entire books now and novels, but I'm not I don't see how you can get all the things you need into a publication just from an AI engine or application. But I know you can get some templates and ideas. What's your feelings on that?
I mean, it's so funny you should mention that. Just even yesterday, I posted an article from our business partner, Andrew Foster, who wrote about this very subject. And, I'm very much inclined to agree with him. I think that AI is definitely going to tread on and, and dismantle, people's creativity if that's something that they totally lean on, in order to come up with ideas or to write books, etc. And I think that there is going to be probably, I would say, using that method, I mean, it can only be done so many times, can't it? Before you just see like a factory of the same old, stuff being written and coming out, isn't it, from AI? I mean, how much you sort of phrase things will be very much like a carbon copy of that kind of subject, of that kind of material that we'll see. So I think it will have very much an impact on creativity and free thinking. I don't
Yeah.
see what I think that it has benefits, if it's something, I think if you've already got the skill and then you decide that, you've got this idea, but you're going to, use this AI, chat software to see what it can do, give you some other ideas maybe, or some additional ideas to the ones that you have, then that may be a help. But I think that the bare work at the moment, in the way that the systems are set up, is that there is still an onus from the person who is doing the writing to be able to come up with some sort of form of creativity in order to be able to put a book together. But I do think that longer term, I think that AI is going to get a lot more sort of efficient, and will definitely because I think there's so much onus on it, and people seem to be so reliant on it. And I think prior to it, I mean, they've been around a very long time, to be fair, but probably not as developed as they are today. But I do feel like prior to the AI situation, it was very much a case of authors that are probably not as experienced, but are so desperate to become bestsellers. And I think even the way that that's happening these days as well. I mean, everyone is looking for, a get rich scheme. I mean, people are buying their own books, to become bestsellers in that way. And I think that is just harming the industry rather than helping it.
These are changing times, and we were talking about culture and the legacy of culture. And technology has always been, I think, part of the publication industry. You go back to the printing press, people like, I want to take pen to paper. Then there was the printing press, and then the typewriter, and then the computer, and then there's going to be AI. I think just like what you think about a calculator, yeah, you can use a calculator to quickly do some equations, but you can't use it to actually engineer projects like that. There's certain,
Right.
It doesn't think for you. I mean, it can do things quicker from an analytical aspect. So my take on it is like, yeah, you can quickly get some templated ideas, or you can get some formats, and then you can augment some things to actually get your thoughts out there, the living essence of what you're conveying, because you're taking a lived experience and you're reproducing it in print or in video or something to that effect. So to me, you're just going to be utilizing the machine world, to enhance the human experience, not to replace it. I think that's where people are at.
Right.
Oh, this will replace me. Like, no, it should enhance you. Like, you really probably would use a calculator instead of a slide rule, or trying to figure out complex math. Just, you could probably do it. I'm not saying you can't do it. If you had to do some multiplication, addition, sure you can. But if you needed to do it quicker, you use a calculator. Doesn't mean you don't know how to do it. You just use it quicker. So I think there's some things to that. But the authenticity is a factor. And then being able to originate an idea. And that's when I look at Beauty and the Beast, you've originated an idea. You found a niche. You saw a place in your market that was lacking. And you say, you know what? I'm going to solve this problem. I'm going to give a voice to people that have an interest in this. Like you were doing I saw some things you're doing around poetry. Like people, like I would love to see an AI engine actually write good poetry. I don't know if you can do it. Andrew would probably like, nah, I think you're gonna have to do we're gonna have to see about that. So how do you feel about the where this industry is going and what your place is going to be in this field?
Yes, exactly. And I mean, just like you mentioned there about, legacy building, I mean, in terms of even with Beauty and the Beast publishing, that can only go so far. We have even been working on sort of another project as an extension of Beauty and the Beast publishing, which is called Mark of Nations, which we feel is going to amplify the Black voice even further, and having more of those difficult conversations, when you look at the recent Jim Crow laws, that have come out recently, that's going to affect if this, transcends, and with the sort of the global WHO treaty as well, the global pandemic treaty that's coming out, these are topics that are not really being discussed because there isn't really a forum for them. And it's not something that we would probably talk about in Beauty and the Beast publishing unless we wrote a book on it, or somebody came to us with that kind of idea. But we feel that those conversations are just as important, so as I mentioned, Beauty and the Beast publishing and writing a book and talking about our life experiences can help our demographic, but we need to probably discuss more of the more, like you say, some of the changes that are taking place at the moment that are going to affect our demographic and our diaspora even more so if we don't start sort of like coming together, on a global scale, in terms of our business leaders and technologists and policy writers and lawyers and people of that, really come together and, let's create one voice, universal voice, for our demographic, where we can really start to sort of challenge some of these, laws that are coming into place that are really affecting us. And we want to do that as an extension of Beauty and the Beast publishing. So markofnations.com is going to be the next venture. It starts in June. We'll be launching then. And, we really want people to sort of register and, sign up to the site and support us in being able to amplify those Black voices even more so.
So Mark of Nations, I've heard it. You got me intrigued. You had me when you said the Mark of Nations. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because we've got to tell our story. We have to tell our story and our own voice and not depend on another media or even another culture. That may be hard for another culture to talk about or to tell the story of another culture completely. As obviously it's not going to be, the same because these are lived experiences. Lived experiences or something else. I think we have the opportunity that we've never had before. Just like now, we're on this Black Business Olympics, the Black Business Network's a worldwide forum. We have an opportunity to discuss, engage. We've got to get people to be aware, like, hey, you know what? You don't have to tune into CNN and ABC and all the other news outlets, BBC, I guess, where you're located. Yeah. You say, this is your factual truth. This is your source of truth of what's going on. Like, no, that's a very limited experience for that sector for what they're talking about. Are they really talking about our experience? But we've got to tell that story and tell it often. So markofnations.com coming out in June. I cannot wait. I'm always intrigued when I talk to you. Because, I have not been to the UK. I haven't been to the UK. And I just get into like, wow, you don't think about other people in other countries are actually tuning in to events in the US in a certain way where you have this historical context. And it's kind of bad on my end where I'm like, wow, I know about the king coronation, but do I really know about the Black experience in the UK? I don't. I don't. So tell me more about what your experience is like.
I would say that our experience is no different from yours, there, except that the fact that it's probably more covert here at times, but I think that it's probably changing as well. People feel like, people are stressed here, the price of everything has gone up. And as a smaller country, I think that we're probably finding it even more tougher because we've lost all our manufacturing that we ever had, so we don't make anything anymore. I think barring toilet paper. Which is one essential, I suppose. But, we have the same issues over there. We have the same racism, the same prejudice, and like you say, we've got other cultures and demographics telling our story, and we've seen what that's done. It's never been the whole true picture, and it's come to a stage now that if you mention the word slavery in this day and age to outside of our culture, it's quickly brushed under the carpet, and we're told that we're bringing up our old history. Nobody wants to have that discussion, but how do we move on? If those discussions don't happen, we're unable to. And this is why I think, as a demographic, we're struggling to sell, but we are not dealing with the root of the problem either. We're all very disenfranchised, as a demographic, and we need to change that. We need to become one. We are the global majority, and unless we come together, we were not going to have that power that we need to have to tell those stories, to talk about our experiences. And it's not just about slavery, and these Jim Crow laws that we see today. We've got great experiences as well in terms of our inventions, and things that we have made. I mean, we're responsible for making most things. These are the things that we should be teaching our demographic, to build that hope, to create legacy. And we believe that markofnations.com will be that platform that can provide that.
I believe it too. And it has to happen. We have to tell our story. You have to go, like you said, slavery obviously is a huge impact on a lot of different people, but that was 500 years, right? We've been around for 14, 15,000 years. Where is that whole story? That's kind of what I was going back to. Like, that story is not told because the other cultures, that's not really what they're into. They might tell some cursory things, some two-dimensional information, but we're talking about, do you really know the historical significance of all the cultures in Africa from which we've all derived ourselves, and what their experiences have been throughout time? And you start to see all these different things. What happens is you get a deeper appreciation of who you are as a part of that whole Black experience, right? I believe, when I talk to a lot of people in other countries, and they talk to me about being in the U.S. and being an African American, I say, we are a unique tribe. We are a tribe because we're different. We're not connected now to the Igbo tribe or the Yoruba tribe or some of the other larger African tribal societies. We are our own people because of what we've gone through and who we are. We are our own people, and our experience is unique in that fashion. And when I talk to my European counterparts, or European Americans, or what they call Americans these days, and I tell them, these types of things, that you have to understand, just because I speak English doesn't make me English. It's the same thing as someone who's in Latin America. Just because they speak Spanish doesn't mean they're Spanish. Their cultural roots are deeper and wider than that, but they bring that forth. So when I look at you and I say, wow, look at this beautiful woman that's in the UK, in London, I want to know more about her experiences. And you said something, so it's top of mind right now, because you always hear about a lot of the racism. Obviously in America, it's very widely known, but you don't hear about it in England, and it kind of started there because they had such a huge empire. But what's happening now? I mean, they try to, like you said, brush it under the rug and act like, we're all about all people. And then all of a sudden, one of the princes decides to marry a biracial woman, and it's, we have a problem here. It's like, wow, there's an issue here. Like, well, what issue? What are you talking about? Like, oh, well, then it really starts to come out. You start to see it. I want to see more visibility of Black people in the UK.
Yes, definitely. I agree with you. And just like you say as well, there needs to be more Black presence here as well, within the UK. I mean, even though we are based here and in the US, predominantly our business comes from the US. We are starting to do more trade in the UK, and we will build on that, going forward. And I'm thinking that, well, to my understanding, Mark of Nations will really help to sort of solidify that and bring us even closer together. as and even just with what you said there as well. I mean, looking at the royal family and the problems that they're facing today within their own, community, it's no different, than my own family. And when they were back coming here back in the 50s, it just seems like it's history sort of repeating itself again. So I believe that markofnations.com will really help to change that envelope, and really sort of take us down the direction that we need to be at, in this having those difficult conversations and those relative global conversations that we need to have, amongst our own culture.
I have one more question before we get wrapped up. And because you're part of the British Empire, that British Empire, the United Kingdom, most people don't realize. I always got confused. What is Britain? What is the UK? What is, there's so many definitions. So you're like, well, what does that really mean? But that map touches, a lot of locations. Does the Black culture there in London have a direct pipeline to the culture in West Africa, which I believe a lot of people were derived?
Yeah, definitely. I think that it could be developed more, but there's definitely large, a large African demographic here, in the UK, whether it be Somalians, Nigerians, Ghanaians, and I would also say as well, there's a greater percentage of Black people here that are looking at their African roots and are starting to build infrastructures in Africa. My own mother, lives in Ghana, and she's done so for many, many years, a lot happier there than she has ever been here, I would say. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And I would encourage it, to be honest. There needs to be more of us looking more towards our culture, because especially in this time where it seems as if the Black demographic is not as important as others, so it's got to be important to us, for us to be able to compete, with the other demographics that are around, definitely.
I totally agree. So if people want to get in touch with you, they want to know more about Beauty and the Beast publication, what is the best way?
The best way, I would say, is via the website. So that's beautyandthebeastpublishing.net. Is the best place to contact us, and anyone that's interested in being a part of Mark of Nations, where we can help to amplify the more radical Black voice, in having those difficult and current conversations, then markofnations.com. Please register there as well, and you'll be able to get in contact with us, as well as any other place, any other social platform as well. We're on there too.
Well, I have to say that you are also very active on LinkedIn. We've been LinkedIn partners for a long time. We have great conversations there. And I am looking forward to producing a book series with Beauty and the Beast. So stay tuned.
Excellent. I look forward to that. Brilliant, Grant. And you're on fire on LinkedIn at the moment. I'm so proud of all what you're doing. Please continue.
Hey, from your mouth to God's ears. So we're going to love that. So thank you for being here. I know it's the afternoon for you. It's the morning, or we're getting into the afternoon here in the U.S. So thank you again for being a part of the Black Business Olympics on Team 5 Star.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right. Genius is coming, and we'll see you on the other side. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. Please, you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App at $BBX USA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. Please donate to the Black Business Expo USA Scholarship Fund.